Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about a part that I have installed on my 2004 Forza XT here. Now this particular part, it's going to be something that I honestly think it's going to be a personal opinion, personal preference when it comes to selecting this part here. And the part that I am actually talking about is none other than the GrimmSpeed air oil separator. So for those who don't know what an air oil separator is essentially what its name is. It separates air and oil from the engine. So for a flat four motor here on the Subaru, the piston moves side to side here, and what that creates is what's called blow-by. And those who don't know what blow-by is basically unburned fuel, debris, and other materials that's floating in the engine that, you know, it's just gonna get pushed around. So now this particular design for air oil separator, you're gonna find a lot of mixed reviews on the internet here. Now I've been running this unit here on multiple of my Subarus in the past, and in this one in particular here, I have a catch can over here, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second here. But honestly, the design of this air oil separator here, there are three fittings or three ports, as you can see, 1, 2, and 3 here. The key thing is the middle port here. So let's go over the two side ports first and highlight why the center one here is important. So my particular GrimmSpeed air oil separator here is two-tone, or it's black and red. Now you won't be able to get this. Is something I acquired, down my history of working on Subaru. So usually yours is going to be uniform with one single color. But let's take a look at the three ports here and why it is important. So the two side port, one goes to the crankcase and one goes to the head breather. So the middle port here, why it is important is it goes to back to your intake inlet. So you don't want to have any of these lines here in reverse or whatnot. Otherwise you're just going to be pushing blow-by back into your intake, and it's going to get sucked up and pushed right in your engine, and that's not going to be good for the motor. So as you guys can see in my motor here, I got a whole bunch of hoses running around everywhere here. Now this is not the neatest way of getting it done. You could obviously tuck this and make it look a little bit cleaner, but honestly for me it's more of a functionality versus a appeal thing. So I don't really care, but if you're somebody who wants to tidy up your engine bay, you could do that. But going back to the way how the air oil separator here works. So it collects from the crankcase and head breather here, and it deposits the blow-by back into the oil filler neck here, and that gets then redeposited into the oil pan, and then the hot engine will basically burn away all the unwanted debris and whatnot. And fresh air is supposed to come out from this middle port here back into your inlet. But obviously for me here, I have a catch can over here. And the reason why I have a catch can over here is because the way how this air oil separator is designed, it doesn't have the best baffling system that's integrated into it here. If you take off this cap here, you're gonna see some chambers basically cut out in the cap here that separates and filters out the air from the oil and pushes the oil back down there. Now the problem is, this air oil separator is designed for those who have very it's designed for a car that's either stock or slightly lightly modified. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have your simple intake and downpipe and you're probably running stock level boost. This guy's gonna be good for that. Now anything beyond that, say bigger turbo and you're pushing more pressure through the system boost wise, this guy's probably not going to be good for you, and you might want to opt for something that's a little bit better designed, like an IAG for example. Their air oil separator is one of the top in the aftermarket industry, so that's probably one to consider if you are a high horsepower application. So you must be asking yourself, why am I covering this topic or this product on this video? Reason being is, if you ever had a chance to take off your top mount intercooler here, run your finger inside the inlet here, and you will see kind of like buildup of oil there. Now this one is an aftermarket intercooler here, but if you have a stock one, that's pretty much going to be the same as well as the Y pipe piece down here where it connects to the turbo. If you take this guy off, loosen it, and inspect what's inside there, oftentimes you're going to see some sort of like oil buildup in there, and basically that is what blow by is. It's just going to get pushed around in your system here. So having this unit will allow you to basically eliminate that, or hopefully eliminate that or minimize it at the very least. Having a catch can over here will also help improve that as well. But to be completely honest, if I had the money, I would just opt for an IEG air oil separator, and basically deletes this as well as replace this with a bigger canister and make that a little bit better as well. So taking a look at a better angle here, this guy here goes from the air oil separator into the catch can here where it says in. Not sure if you guys can see that. And then it goes out here to the intake inlet. And this is often seen on race application where you're going to be driving a car really hard, but obviously in race application where it's a competition where you're either a stock form or lightly modified form. So this guy here will help you not push oil back into your intake inlet here. And reason being for that is when you're pushing your car pretty hard on the racetrack or on the road or anywhere, basically the baffling of the filter design on this air oil separator here is not going to be able to keep up with what the motor is doing and the pressure and everything like that there. So adding an oil catch can over here will help provide that for you essentially. Another thing to note on this air oil separator is there is no coolant line like other air oil separators on the market to help heat up this AOS here. So basically what it depends on is just the temperature from the engine. So you want to make sure if you're running this guy here, especially in the winter time where it gets near below zero, to let your car and allow your car to warm up the temperature before you actually start driving off. And one of the most common questions you get with this guy is if you're changing your oil or taking out the cap for whatever reason during the winter time, you might see some what it's described as a milky residue, or kind of like some milky substance inside here within the chambers and stuff like that here. Again, essentially that is just blow by, and it's that just means that the air oil separator is doing its job and it's collecting all of those as much as it can back into the oil filler neck here. So if you see that, don't worry about it, just wipe it down, reinstall the cap, and you should be good to go. And that's pretty much what I gotta just spiel about this air oil separator. Now, this one on my car is set up this way just only because it's a higher mileage car. The rings on this motor is probably seen its fair share and it's probably worn out. So I set it up this way just to help combat that, just to make the engine last a little bit longer. Now, it's not gonna guarantee you that you're gonna get like X amount of miles more on this motor here. It is a Subaru, so it's only a matter of time when the motor is gonna need to be refreshed. So again, 3 ports here. Key thing is this middle port here, the 2 side ports here. Honestly, it doesn't really matter, you know, which one goes to the head or the crankcase. Just make sure that they're both to the side and not to the center one here. And again, I have this catch can over here just in addition, just to help combat excess blow by from getting pushed back into the system here. So hope you guys find this helpful and useful, maybe learn a few things here and there. But if you guys like this video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, as well as leave me a comment how you guys think about this setup here, or if you guys have any other suggestions, maybe different setup that you guys have used in the past before that's best bang for your buck. This guy right here, you can find it for $2.99. Again, that catch can over there is probably going to run you around $30, $30 to $40, depending on the time of the year for Amazon there. But that's pretty much it.